Greetings everyone, my name is Buck Business. Konnichiwa, I'm Kawaii Critic, and today we are here to review My Little Pony Season 8, the holiday special Best Gift Ever. So, we did not know that this holiday special was even going to happen yesterday. That is until Twitter showed us some images of this special going about. So, we decided to go off hiatus, break the hiatus to review this episode and then go right back to the hiatus, at least on this channel, to give you a recap review of this Best Gift Ever holiday special episode. So, that being said, let us begin. This episode begins with some pretty general narration, and the little town goes into a song, and everyone's worrying about being late, worrying about getting the best gift ever, stuff of that nature. We see some pretty interesting images as this song uh, plays out, like Big Mac's son kissing his love, Sugar Bell's son, in front of that quiet sister of the Pinkie Pie son. I think her name was Marble? Marble son? I think that's her name. It's been a while since I've seen the Pinkie Pie sisters, so apologies, especially that one. Apologies if I got that name wrong. Alas, while that is happening, Twilight is going so predictably into one of her panic attacks, dragging along her friends into her long list of things to do for this holiday. So Applejack calms her down, and we see that Spike is still love-struck over Rarity to get her a gift. And so Applejack explains before this occurs that a better way to handle this is to do essentially the equivalent of a Secret Santa, that being putting the names in the hat, drawing the names, and then giving that one pony a gift of who you get. So Spike didn't initially get Rarity, but he wanted to essentially trade for it, so he asked Applejack if he could do that, and she does say that there is no rule against that. So he goes about to, I believe he goes to Twilight first, or even Applejack first, to get that rule clarified, and then she immediately says afterwards that she does not have Rarity. And Twilight soon after that, who says that she also does not have Rarity. So, Spikey-kun claims that as he's leaving to go find the true pony who has Rarity, that the gift that has to be given should be better because you're only giving it to one pony, which essentially freaks Twilight-san out even further. She happens to have Pinkie Pie-san, and Pinkie Pie-san happens to have Twilight-san. So Pinkie-san talks to all of her sisters about what to do about this whole gift-giving thing being even more special and stuff of that nature. So, Spike, who's still on the hunt, actually bumps into Rarity, who, at the moment, has Applejack to get a gift for. So he goes on about, while Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are talking, Fluttershy having, I believe she had Rarity, and Rainbow Dash had Spike. So, Spike trades with Fluttershy, so now Fluttershy now has Rainbow Dash, and Spike now officially has Rarity after their trade. Meanwhile, we get a little visit from Discord-san, who does his usual shtick of vaguely trying to help in his own way, and it's kind of getting it continues to be this annoying shtick about, oh, I just want to be in on the fun. Nothing out of the ordinary for Discord-san at this point. But as it would turn out, Spiky-kun actually has no clue what to get Rarity-san as he goes back to the castle and kind of laments that fact. So, Flim and Flam, who appear in this episode as well, are up to their usual shtick, selling this really poorly designed toy, and manage to trick Fluttershy into buying the toy, as she doesn't even recognize that it's Flim and Flam. She's very easily fooled, and that's actually pretty canonically proven that she has been tricked easily before by the CMC, so that actually kind of fits her character to be easily fooled into thinking that the Flim Flam brothers are these other stallions. Meanwhile, Pinkie Pie-san visits the Yak Prince. I don't remember his official name, but he says that the Yaks aren't actually good at giving gifts, and that they that he has, at the very least, the secret location to get the best gifts. So she is given a map to a specific location. Meanwhile, Rarity-san talks to Derpy-san, or as they refer to her now as Muffins-san, to get the address to where Rarity-san's gift actually ended up. So, as that is going on, Spike is still struggling, as all of these gifts are essentially just presented to him. All of these things that would essentially be centered around Rarity. However, he is so distraught and so distracted that he's probably not even seeing what's being presented to him, and still is sort of lamenting the fact that there's still no best gift ever. It's not good enough. So while that's going on, Discord continues to mess with Rainbow Dash some more to get Fluttershy a gift for her little sanctuary. So he manages to get her to tag along in his little portal shenanigans. So, as that is going on, we see that Twily-san has the ponder of what to get Pinkie Pie-san. She's charting it all out. She eventually comes to the conclusion that pudding would be the best gift ever, with meme-worthy facing going on as well. So, while that is going on, there's a lot going on in this episode. Fluttershy-san gets the messed up gift. She has it. She approaches Applejack-san, who has a comic and another gift. She's like struggling, and she leaves the gifts behind as she eventually follows Fluttershy-san to Flim and Flam-san. So, while that is going on, while they are confronted, Rarity then goes to the address and gets to this family, this farming family that isn't apple-oriented. This other, I believe it was acorns or something of the like. I forget what it was exactly, but it was some sort of farming-related thing. However, the family's son, a younger Colt, happens to have gotten the hat and happens to be quite the Western fan of style, this Western style fan of this hat that he has gotten as a gift from Rarity by mistake. So she ends up deciding to join the family as they insist on having her over to celebrate this occurrence. So, Cadence-san arrives at Twilight-san's house, who's still freaking out. And she sort of just leaves them to their own devices while she goes out to get the perfect ingredients perfectly. Meanwhile, Pinkie Pie goes deeper into the snow, traveling to the equivalent of the North Pole. She gets there via bear, and she comes across 3 different reindeer: Aurora, Bora, and Alice. Obviously, put together, their names add up to the constellation or Aurora Borealis. So, they are 3 different types of gift givers: one of past, one of present, and the one of the future. And they essentially help Pinkie Pie pick out a perfect gift for something that will happen later on. Meanwhile, Applejack-san gets up on the Flim Flam-san's case, who, once again, want to expand their business, and technically, once again, they actually claim that they are doing nothing wrong, and by all accounts, they are right. They continue to just be businessmen through and through. Yeah, they're selling a terrible product, but there's nothing against the law of that, of selling a product, even if it is bad. But while that's going on, Dashi-san and Discord-san temporarily turn into ninjas as they proceed further into the snow, working diligently to find this perfect animal for Fluttershy-san. While that's going on, Spike makes his little gift and then gets some dust on himself to glow, and then ends up falling asleep from overworking and overthinking about the present in general. And while that's going on, we cut to Applejack and Fluttershy, who are now working the crowd that are in front of Flim and Flam, and clearly showing that uniqueness goes into presence as they ham it up, and the ponies obviously kind of start to favor the uniqueness factor and start to head off from Flim and Flam. So while that's going on, Rarity decides to let that cult keep the hat and ends up with no gift at all. So some ponies got their gifts and some ponies didn't get their gifts, to some extent. And while that's going on, Flurry Chan adds some ingredients to Twilight-san's pot of her food making. And Discord-san goes off on his own, or is about to, before Rainbow Dash-san invites him to their little party. But as that occurs, that bunny that they eventually obtain eventually transforms into a Godzilla-esque type creature. So they're freaking out, while the pudding that Twilight-san had made and Flurry-chan had messed up is now turned into some goo monstrosity that is gooping towards them. So the main 6 reunite with Twilight-san's the rest of her family, and now they're being attacked from both sides, from this bunny creature and from the goo creature. And Discord-san clearly points out to Fluttershy-san to essentially get to the bunny. So, Pinkie Pie, thinking of the gift that she was given, goes into the goo herself, and apparently she was given the perfect gift in order to stop this goo from spreading even further. So, the ponies who did manage to get their gifts do share their gifts, that being Applejack did end up buying the Flim and Flam toys to essentially get that over with, so they share their toys, but they are quickly extinguished. Uh, Fluttershy gets her huge bunny. Uh, Pinkie Pie gets her food. Uh, you know, uh, Applejack doesn't necessarily get anything, but she's happy that someone else got their thing, so there's that. Uh, Rainbow Dash's gift was destroyed, and Twilight's castle was essentially saved by Pinkie Pie, and that was a gift. And that just leaves Spike, who pulls out a custom guitar and starts to sing a special song for Rarity, because he still has that crush for her, and for his efforts, he gets a little special kiss from Rarity. Twilight takes over with the song, and then they all start to sing in celebration, and we see all the different families celebrating in their own different ways from all the different creatures, and we see the three reindeer get a special nod to friendship, saying that of course that was the best gift of all. And that was the best gift ever. There is a lot that happens in this one episode of My Little Pony. It goes all over the place, and it manages to reach a pretty solid conclusion, even though not everyone got a quote perfect gift. Again, of course, with the morals of this show, the gift of friendship is simple enough. And yeah, some other ponies did get their gifts as bonus, if you will. But, yeah, there's a lot going on here. The three reindeer of past, present, and future was an interesting take. Kind of going to akin to the three ghosts of past, present, and future, but turning it on its head into the three gift givers of past, present, and future. Definitely not something I expected to see, but it's a welcomed addition, I suppose, and it confirms that there are reindeer now that just, I guess, happened to work on this holiday, even though we've never seen them before, so... But then again, I guess that does technically make sense, since apparently only the Yak leader knew of them, so I guess that technically passes for good continuity, I guess. You know, it's nice enough. It is bizarre, however, considering that season 8 technically already had a hearthwarming special, so to see another more Christmas-oriented special also come out again within the same season, right after the season finale, is a bizarre turn for Hasbro. Nonetheless, it's a welcomed little, just, have a nice little additional episode. It's a nice Christmas-esque episode. Even though it's getting closer to Halloween more than anything, but nonetheless, putting that aside, it's an overall nice episode. It's definitely better than most of the episodes in season 8, so there's that. Yeah, there is still the obvious little things that we, again, based off of our wish list, is a little bit annoying. Spike's crash, again, kind of a little bit getting to its... with that sort of kind of being the focal point from the start to the finish at the very most. It takes up a good chunk of the episode while also switching over to all the other ponies. He ends up sort of being the focal point since he takes over at the end and sings that nice song. So, yeah. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's an okay episode at best. And again, just it being okay already makes it better than most episodes in season 8, so take it for what it's worth. And with that, that ends our review of this holiday special. Stick top, ting tong tori! And with that being said, we would like to go right back to our hiatus, this time trying to officially wait until season 9, hopefully. Hopefully there are no more sudden specials episodes that suddenly decide to pop up out of nowhere that we have to review. Hopefully that does not happen. Otherwise, we'll have to come out of hiatus and review it. We do want to take a break, at least from this channel, but again, just like the previous reviews, we will leave a link to the main channel on the link in the description. So if you want to see more content with us going on hiatus, click the link in the description and you will get a lot, and I mean a lot of content, 11 different Let's Plays and movie reviews. So there you go. With that being said, buck business, and if you liked this review, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, farewell. Bye-bye.